Start with the base coat of the chest and make sure you have full coverage before you go to the next layer. After the base coat, you add a second layer on the wood end parts. Now apply a dark wash all over the wood. When the wash is dried, you apply the first highlight. Apply them random to get a more weathered look. Now apply the steel paint on the lock and metal parts of the chest. Finish the metal parts with Nuln Oil to make the metal look older. Base coat all the leather parts with a dark brown. Start with the first highlight of the leather. Apply it to the most parts of the leather, but leave the deeper parts darker to create a shadow. For the second highlight, you only highlight the upper edges of the leather. You can do some random scratches to make the leather look older as well. To paint the skin of the pirate, I started with a darker base coat. Apply the first highlight on the upper parts of the skin that should reflect the most light. When you have the highlights in place, you thin the paint so you can glass all of the skin. Do this so you have the darker parts for shadows but still have some transition between paints. Now apply the second highlight on the most raised areas of the model. Cover the coat of the model with a dark blue. As with the others, start with the first highlight and cover around 70% of the higher parts of the coat. The second highlight is to cover the higher parts. For the final highlight of the coat, make sure you take brightest color on the edges. For this, I use the stippling technique. Place small dots of paint on the edges. Start by base coating the beard brown. Now cover the beard with a wash to create shading. Now start with the first highlight. Highlight higher parts of the beard. Make sure you only highlight the higher parts so you keep the shadows. For the second highlight, only highlight the edges of the beard. Paint all the metal parts of the model. For this, use a steel-colored paint. Also paint all the gold parts on the armor and sword. After the metal paints, try now shade them using Nuln Oil. Now paint all the bone parts on the model and the base in a brown. Paint the side of the coat and the color gray. The parts that are gray can now be highlighted. Only highlight the outer 50%. Do this so you can glass it later to get a better transition. Paint all the sand of the base in a light brown. For a highlight of the sand, dry brush all of the base. Now glass the gray with a diluted white to get the best transition between the colors.